Good morning students, welcome back to Web Technologies class. In today's class, I'll explain you about design issues. Okay, when you are designing a web page, what issues you may expect, that we'll discuss today. Okay, so under design issues, the first one is typography. The second one is navigation. Third one is the tables. Fourth one is the forms. Okay. So typography. What are the design issues here? Typography, navigation, tables, and the fonts. Now, tables, forms, all have explained. These two I will explain. Okay. So typography. What is the typography? Okay. So typography means when you are writing something on the browser window, what things you should keep in your mind about a text, means what is the text size, what should be the space between the lines, and what is the starting, what is the initial space, okay, how much line length should be, how many characters should be there in a single line, that all will come under typography. Okay, so these are all not mandatory, but if you will follow these things, your web page will be more attractive, your website will be more attractive. So what are the design issues regarding this typography? That we will discuss now. Okay, I'll give you the list. So these are the key points you need to consider when you are designing a web page. And these are all regarding the text what you are putting on the browser. Okay, and one point you try to remember when you are designing a website, whatever text you are adding, whatever style you are following on the text, that should be legible and readable. Means that should be according to the standards, and it should be easy for the user to read and to understand. So you should add a text on the browser window in such a way that should follow according to that should be inserted according to the standards, and that should be easily understood by the user. So that things you need to keep in your mind when you are designing a web page. So under typography here, 6 points you have. First one is a line length. See, when you are adding a text on the browser window, on that your example in that page you have a few lines, or total is a complete text based website, then you have some 30 to 40 lines you have in one page example. So when you are giving a more number of lines, what is the length of the line? Means in each and every line, how much text, how many characters you are adding? 30 to 40 or 40 to 50 or 60 to 70. How many lines of, how many characters you are adding in each line, that will come under line length. Okay, so when you are designing a web page, if you are adding a text on the browser window, when you are adding a text on the website, text to the website, in each line, okay, each time you put 45 to 75 characters, so that it is easy for the user to read. Otherwise, the user need to scroll the page. The second one, font size. See, when you are designing a web page, if you have side headings on that, font size should be little bit increased height, and it should be in bold. Okay, so when you are designing a web page, you need to give a separate font size for the headings and a separate font size for your text. 2 font sizes are enough. And if it maximum you try to remember, if there is a side heading, you try to give a side headings in a bold face. You can give these headings also, you can give H1 to H6, that also you can give according to your requirement. Okay, but you are not supposed to use too many font sizes. Okay, only few font sizes you use. One is for heading and the second one is for paragraphs. Okay, for the content. And font size should be lies between 80 to 72 points. The next one is the line height. See, it is a text completely, it is a text based website. There you have a number of lines of text. So how much space you are giving between a line? Okay, whether you are giving one line, it is okay. If you are giving 2 lines, it is taking a more space to display even single paragraph also. So according to your content and according to your requirement, you give the line space. Actually, we'll give some 1 point this much space only here. If it is a 1 inch like that, that much space only will give between lines. Okay, that is a line height. Next one is a space between the letters. So between actually, we won't give space between the letters generally. If text contains some words, each and every word should be separated by spaces. Okay, so that case only we will use the spaces. But between each and every character, we won't give too much space. Okay, that is also one of the characteristics of web design. The next one is the white spaces. How many white spaces you are using on the browser at the starting and the ending, that also you should keep in your mind. Next contrast. When you are designing a web page, your website background color and whatever text you are choosing, that should be contrast. If it is a white background, you can use a black color. If it is a pink background, you can use a blue color. Okay, so always when you are designing a web page, your text background color, your text color and your web page background color should be contrast. Okay, so this you need to think when you are designing a web page. One is a line height. What is the line height? How many characters you are inserting in a one line? Font size. What is the font size of the characters? Too many font sizes you are not supposed to use when you are designing them. Next, what is the line height? Space between the letters. How many white spaces you are using? And whether your web page text and your web page background is in a contrasting nature or not. That you need to think. The next design issue is navigation. Okay. So navigation means what? Moving from one page to another page, one website to another website, and one page to the another website. Okay. So navigation means which allows the user on the internet to move from one page to the another page. Okay, navigation is nothing but the moving between the pages. So on when you are designing a web page, when you are designing a website, you should provide the navigation. So where you can give the navigation, where you can give the points to the navigation. The first one is menus, and the second one is the internal links. Internal links. The second one is the external links. Using these three things, you can provide navigation between pages. Okay, so what is the navigation? Navigation is nothing but moving from one page to another page, one website to another website, and one website to the another page. Okay, so different places you can move from a current place. That is nothing but the navigation. So in web designing, navigation is possible by using the three things. One is the menus, the second one is the internal link, and the third one is the external link. Now we will discuss about the menus. See, menus in the menu bar, this is the type example. This is a browser menu. First you have a title bar. Immediately next you have a menu bar. So menu bar should be properly labeled first of it. When you are designing a website, menu bar should be properly labeled, and the commands which are having the pages, the information which is having a common nature, that should be in a one tab. Okay, example, if you take a file menu, file save as, file close, file open, file print, such things are arranged in a single menu, right? Similarly, the labels which are having a common nature, that should be grouped in a single label. Okay, so the first thing is should be labeled properly. Similar commands should be grouped in a menu, and background color of the menu, and whatever text you are attaching, whatever label you are giving to the menu, that should be contrast. Okay, next this menus should have links to web pages. Right, so menus should have links to web pages, and menus background and whatever content, whatever label you are giving, that should be contrast. Next, according to example, if you have only the short, you have only a few options. But if you are using too many menus, that is, it is not attractive to the user to read. And one more point, whatever menus you are using on the website, that should be loaded first, loaded fastly. and that should be easy for the user to understand. And how the user will understand when see the menus instead of writing a label. If you give any images, then it is easy for the user to understand. Okay, so when you are giving a menus, you should keep in your mind that the label should be named properly. Sorry, the menu should be named properly. The background color and the label of the menu should be different. Common commands or the commands which are working on the same similar things, that should be in a group and that should be loaded fastly. And one more thing, whatever menu bar you are giving, whatever menus you are having, and whatever document area you are having, that should be separated. That should not be attached. Always menus should be separated, and menu should be easy for the user. Means the menu, whatever names you are using for the menus, that should be easily understood by the user. So when you are selecting the menus, when you are selecting the labels for the menus, that should be easy for the user to understand. Example, if file is there, the file menu is there, then I will understand what I will think. All the file related commands are there in that menu only. So you should design web menus in such a way that should be easy for the user to understand what is there in that menu. Okay, attachment, whatever document should be attached. Okay, such things you should include in a menus. Okay, so this is about here. Using menus also you can navigate from one page to another page, one section to another section. Okay, so when you are using a menus, when you want to perform navigation, it is also possible by using the menus. Okay, the second one by using the internal links. So internal links also already have explained. Using the internal links, you can move from one section to another section within the same page. Example, you have 20 to 30 pages in a one only in a one website. Okay, in one page, in a one document. So if you want to move from first page to the 10th page, you need to scroll. Instead of that, if you will provide internal links for each and every paragraph on the browser window, it is easy for the user to navigate between the sections. If you want internal links, then what happens? The user need to scroll. Means goes on, the user need to scroll. Okay, so if continuously the user is scrolling, the maximum time will go for scrolling only. So that is why when you are designing a web page, you should keep in your mind that you should insert an internal links. If your web page is having more text, instead of scrolling, if you will provide a link, internal links, then user can easily navigate from one section to another section within the same page. Okay. The next one is external link. Using an external link, the user can move from our website to another website, our web page to another web page. Okay, so internal links allows the user to navigate within a page, whereas external links allows the user to navigate one page to another page, not in the same page. The user can move from one page to another page within the same document. That is called as an external link. Using external link also, you can allow the user to navigate from one page to another page. Okay, so this is about navigation. Now, the next design issue is a table. See, actually, what is a table? Table is a very, very important element of a browser window. When you want to display any content in a grid format, in a tabular format, then we use the concept of table. But when you are adding a table, what things you need to think? Okay, right? Means what, in which format? What should be the headings? What should be the padding? What should the call span? That we should think. Now, I'll explain the points. So when we will discuss about headings, so you will get first one is the heading. Second one is the headings. And the third one is the shading. Three things you need to think. Okay. So what is the type? See example, this is the table. In the table, we have four cells you have. See, when you are designing a table, when you are displaying content in a table format, that should not be attached. There should be a space between content and this borders of the cell. So the space between the content and the border of the cell is called as a padding. Okay, so what is a padding? Padding is nothing but it is a space between the content and the borders of the cell is called as a padding. Okay, so it should be normal. It should not be too lengthy, but too small. Okay, this is a padding. What is the second one? Headings. So when you are giving a table, so you try to give headings in a first row like this. This is a table. And if you try to give first row as a heading. Okay, that is the second point. When you are designing a website which contains a table, what you should give the proper padding, proper headings, and that proper headings means always in a table you try to keep first line for headings. Okay, and every alternative way rows you give the shades so that it is easy for the user to follow all the rows in the table. Okay, so these are the three things in the table. First one is you need to check the padding. What is the distance between content and the walls of that cell? The second one, in all the web pages, if it is a table, first row you try to maintain as a headings for the remaining rows. Third one is the shading. In order to differentiate or in order to provide a attractive feature to your web page, every alternative row you give some shadows. Okay, so this is about tables, design issues. The next one is form. Forms. Okay, so what is the use of the forms? Forms allows the user to enter some information, and whatever information the user will enter on the form, that will be submitted to a server. Okay, so in web designing there is only one method which is used to collect input from a user is form. We have only one tool, that is a form, which collects the input from a user, and whatever input is collected from a user, that will be sent to a server in order to process it. Like this. Username, next password. Okay. After this, what we'll do, we'll click on sign in or refresh. Like this. So if you want to submit, you click on the sign in. If you want to click refresh, then what happens? Fresh form will be displayed. So when you are displaying any form on the browser window, you need to add a few important points when you are designing a form on the browser window. The first one is login information. Who is logging on the form? Who is entering the information? The second one is the user information. Okay, means what the user need to enter, that information we should give. The next one is the user address. Next, contact details. Okay, so these four things you need to provide on the form when you are designing a form on the browser. Login information means whenever the user is trying to enter anything, first the user should identify himself. So authorization should be properly, means the user should be authorized properly. So that is why in order to check whether the user is valid or not, then we will give a login information. If the user gives a proper login information, then we can say that the user is a valid user. After taking the login information, next we will take what is the name of the user and extra information from where he is working and all. The next one is the user address. The last one is the contact address, like a phone number, address. Such things you need to give on the form, so that whatever information you are getting from a user now will know everything about the user, who is the user, for what purpose he visited, everything you can find out when you are using a form, when you are designing a form on the browser window. And when you are designing a form, you should select the proper input control. like username, password. Okay, input control means it is the username is only the text. So input type equals to text. It is input type equals to password. Okay, so when if you are collecting any information like a hobbies you are collecting, in that cases we can't use the radio buttons. We can use only the check boxes. And if you are if you are collecting any information about the gender, there we can't give the check boxes. So according to the form information, you give the form control. If you are collecting a password, if you are taking the username, you give the text. If you are taking any hobbies and like that, where you want to take multiple input, there you give check boxes. Where you want to collect only one option from available, then we'll give the radio button. So according to the information you are collecting from a user, you give the proper input control. See example here, instead of a password, here if I give the text, then whatever password the user is entering, that is visible. So there is no security for the user data. So whenever you are selecting any input, according to that input, what type of input you are collecting from a user, according to that you select the form input control. And one more point is, whatever information you are collecting, based on that you give the username. Example, here you want a father name, but here you are giving a student name. It is not correct method to design a form. When whatever information you are selecting, whatever information you are collecting, according to that you should give the label, you should give the input control. Okay, so instead of the text, if you will give the password, instead of the password, if you give the text, then what happened? Whatever the user is giving, that will go to the server in the wrong method. So proper input control you should use, form input control, and proper labels you should use. And one more thing is, example, you are designing a student application form. Student name, father name, phone number, address will come under the personal information. So according to the nature of the field, you should create a groups. One is the personal information, and the second is the academic information, or the third one is the extracurricular activities. So whatever information you are collecting, based on that you should put that fields into a group. Okay, so that the user, it is easy for the user to enter the information. One field you are, example, you are collecting the student name and father name. Student name is the personal and father name is an extracurricular activities. Okay, it is not the proper method. So according to the nature you are collecting an information, you arrange all the input fields into a group. The fields which are taking a similar information, you put all those fields into a group. So when you are designing a form, the form elements should be grouped properly, it should be labeled properly, you should select appropriate input control. Okay, so these are the things you need to follow when you are designing a web page and when you are putting any web page on the browser window, any form on the browser window. So this is about design issues when you are designing a web page. Okay, what are the things you need to think when you are designing a web page? The first one is the typography, second one is the navigation, third one is the table, fourth one is the form. Typography means it is completely related to your text. What should be the text size? Means what should be the text height? What should be the space between the letters? What should be the space between the lines? What font face you are selecting? What is the text color? What is the background color? Okay, so that will come under the typography. Next one, navigation. In how to provide a navigation to the user, means how can the user move from one page to another page. There are three methods using that you can provide a navigation. First one is the menu bar, the second one is the internal link, and the third one is the external link. Okay, if any pages is having a common nature, then for all the pages you give link to file, one menu. Okay, so according to the nature of the files, you give the link to that files in a one menu, that is the menus. The second one is the internal links. If your page is very lengthy, instead of scrolling every time your page, you should provide internal links for your pages. Okay, so that is possible by using the internal links. Means the user can easily navigate from one section to another section. Okay, the next one is external link. If the user want to move from one section to another page, one page to another page, then you should provide an appropriate method by using the link tag. Okay, the The next one is the tables. When you are designing tables on the browser window, what things you need to think? There should be a proper padding, means a space between a content and the walls, and there should be a alternative shadings, and whatever text is there, whatever background color is there, no, that should be contrast. Okay, and always you try to keep first row as a heading for the remaining rows. Okay, that is in a tables. The next one is a form. So what is the use of the form? Forms are used to collect information from a user. When you are collecting any information from a user, what things you should think? Proper label should be there, proper input control should be there. If more than one field is having a similar nature, then that should be arranged into a group. Okay, so these are all design issues in a web design. I hope you all understood.